A video diary titled Men Scare Me Reprise. What's up, aliens? It's Simply Elle, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to the Alien gang. And if you are not new here, you know it's the regular madness. It's the regular madness. Thank you so much for coming back. Let's find the vibrations. This is basically an update, this is basically an update to my last video diary titled Men Scare Me. I think that was like my second ever video diary I've done on this channel, and it really stemmed from the experiences that I was having then with men, specifically men. When a woman is talking about her own experience with a man, that's when the XYs want now remember that they can also talk about what they go through with SA, with women and all that stuff. And I'm not saying it to be dismissive of that, because I know that it definitely happens, and I empathize and sympathize with anybody out there that's gone through something of that nature, be it by a man or a woman. I do not take that stuff lightly. However, it is very disingenuous to me when you decide to bring up that when I'm talking about something that has to do with me and someone else. So, like I said, I'm speaking about men in this video, and I was speaking about men in my video then because I'm a woman who has certain unpleasant and violent experiences with men. I do not, and I've never had this experience with a woman. It's never happened to me. So my only experience is with men. So that is why I and many other women talk about men in these situations, because they're the ones that do it the most. In that video, I was talking about different ways that guys would like harass you and all that stuff. And in this video, I just want to add on to that in a different manner. I'm going to be talking about more horrible things, more violent things. So trigger warning for this video. There's going to be talks of SA, unaliving, many horrible things done to women. So if you're not interested in that, that's just not the mood you want to be in right now. I can totally understand if you want to get off this video and watch something else. That's perfectly fine, and I completely understand why you're choosing to do that. The idea for this video came about when I started seeing headline after headline after headline about some form of violence being committed against a woman. It started with the Rebecca Cheptegei news of her ex-boyfriend setting her on fire and unalived her. Then I heard about the 15-year-old boy who raped a girl to the point where she's in a coma as of date. And then it was the one who went to her friend's house to seek shelter in the rain, and he essayed her and ended up unaliving her. Also took ransom money from her parents, which is how he got caught. And then the heaviest one, or the straw that broke the camel's back, because this one really, like, at this point I just couldn't stop crying. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing all of these within the span of like a week. The only one that happened a really long time ago was the one I'm about to talk about, and the trial is just now happening this year. What I'm talking about, I'm sure you guys have all heard about it. It's the 72-year-old woman whose husband organized nearly 100 men to come and rape her while she was unconscious in their house. Whenever he would arrange the guys to come to their house, he would drug her and have them come in and rape. And this had been happening for 10 years. He was drugging his wife and having guys rape her for 10 years. They've only been able to apprehend 52 of those men, plus her husband, and the rest of them are on the run. When I heard this, I couldn't believe my ears. Honestly, I was just like, there is no way that people come in this form of deranged. How could you do something like that? And he was sourcing these men from a website called Without Her Knowing or Without Her Knowledge. And it's basically a website where things like this happens, where they're doing SA to a girl without her knowing. And that's the kink, I guess, or that's the attraction for these people, to do things to a woman without having to either talk to her, without having to ask for her permission, without her knowing. And this happened for 10 long years. Nobody said anything. There were men who saw. Obviously, I feel like if you're on that type of website, you're gonna pass on certain things. If you're on a website that's promoting criminal activity, you're likely not going to report said criminal activity because maybe that's not your brand of criminal activity. You don't care that it's a crime, it's just not for you. So a lot of men passed the ad, the listing, I don't know how the website works. They passed on that and probably went on to something else. So they likely weren't going to say, oh, this is very weird that a guy is pimping out his unconscious wife. They don't find anything wrong with that because they're on the website looking for similar things. Nobody had the idea to inform this woman that this was happening. Nobody informed the police. He didn't get caught until he went out to go and commit similar-ish crime against someone else. He was caught upskirting a woman. He was trying to take a picture under her skirt. So he was caught upskirting, and the police went through his device and they found photos of his unconscious wife with different men in them. They also found some of his daughter. This is becoming public knowledge because the woman in question that all of these rapes were happening to decided to waive her right to anonymity because she wanted everybody to know about this. And I really appreciate her for that, because honestly, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't have believed that something like this was possible. You would tell me and I'll tell you it's a lie. You would tell me that this thing is possible and I'll tell you that is a lie. I couldn't believe my eyes, and it really started making me paranoid because this man was her husband. The parts that really pissed me off is that he did not require them to wear condoms. You just come and do my wife while she's unawares. Let me finish this point before I move on to another thing that really pissed me off. It got me paranoid because the man was her husband and they've been married for God knows how long, because they're 72 and 71. Her neighbor that she knew very well, or at least that she thought she knew very well, was also in on it. Is she supposed to have suspected her neighbor? One of them was a firefighter, one of them was a nurse, one of the men was a policeman. So it's like, who really do you know? Is it that these people, because they don't walk around, those type of men, they don't walk around saying I'm a mad person on their head. They don't walk around saying avoid me, I kill people, I'm a murderer on their forehead. They don't walk around with I'm a rapist on their forehead. There's no way to know until you know, because this woman did not know until he got caught trying to essay another woman. It's almost like his time was up. Like in that thing that was doing him now made him go and do it to the wrong person. And that's how he got caught. And I thank God for that, really, because who knows, this thing could have continued for forever. It made me really paranoid. I start to look at the guys around me like, how do I know your thoughts? How do I know what is going on? Like, because I want to say, oh, I really know these guys, I know them, but it's like this lady also probably felt that way too about her husband. She thought she knew her neighbor. She thought she was safe. His daughter thought she was safe, but he was doing that. Her own father was doing nonsense to her. So it's like, who are those citizens of the Not All Men Brigade? Who are they? Like, how am I supposed to know you are part of the Not All Men? Uncle, I'm sorry if you're offended, but it's all of you. It's boboyi until I know that it's not. Until it's not you, it's all men. Because right now, I don't play with I like my life. And there's a lot of that has happened to me too, to the point of like being drugged. I just want to thank God that it happened in a large group. The person who put the thing in my drink didn't have me in a one-on-one type of situation. I was going to the bathroom and there was a big crowd around the bathroom, and I just fell. Like, I lost all control of my body. Couldn't open my eyes and I couldn't talk. I could hear everybody around me panicking, like, what's wrong with her? What's going on? Give her bread, give her this. And I was throwing up heavy, and they were like, give her this. So they carried me and dumped me back into my dorm room. I didn't understand what was going on. I just woke up the next day like, what happened? I went to our clinic on campus. They did tests and all that stuff, and she was like, yeah girl, you were roofied. Things like that has happened to me, and I'm thinking, I take precautions. In that foolish bricky girl video, I told you guys, like, these are certain things that I do to try and keep myself safe. But obviously, there will be times where you just don't catch on to something, where you are caught lacking, where you're caught unawares. I'm tired of going out every day as if I'm going out to war. Another thing that really, really pissed me off about the story was that this woman has 4 STDs. She tested positive for 4 STDs. And there was a man who raped her that was HIV positive. But thankfully, by God's grace, she tested negative for it. And apparently it's something you have to continue checking since you were in contact with the virus. But she's been testing negative, I guess. You know, I'm really grateful for that because STDs have a cure as long as it's not herpes or HIV. That one is a forever something. So I'm glad that it wasn't something incurable that she's going to have to live with for the rest of her life. Because at 72, you're finding out you have HIV because of your foolish husband. Like, that would really, really piss me off. Like, at my old age, I can't even live in peace. And these guys were saying that they thought it was consensual. How? Oh, Jesus is Lord. When the husband would tell them not to wear cologne and not to smoke or anything so it doesn't affect the drugs that he put her on, and you're telling me you thought it was consensual. You thought she was pretending to be asleep. God will punish you people. And I was talking to my boyfriend about this recently, that I'm an advocate for castration. If anybody needs me as a voice for castration, I'm here. I volunteer. I would talk about it. If you get caught raping people, I strongly believe that you should lose that instrument between your legs. That thing between your legs that you are turning into a weapon of mass destruction. You don't have a need for it. You don't have a need for it. It's better we take it from you. Like, seriously. Because why were almost 100 men so readily available to do this thing? I'm really pissed off. I'm really pissed off. I really am. I'm gonna keep up with this story because it's on trial now. The trial has started. And I really want to know what the outcome is. All those men, including her husband, are all facing only 20 years. I feel like it should be a life sentence, but whatever. That's the law over there. It's in France. All these stories are happening all over the world. There's another one who her husband, I'm going to search it up real quick just so I can make sure I'm saying the correct things. This is the woman who was unalived and cut up and blended. Unbelievable. A former Miss Switzerland finalist was strangled and savagely dismembered by her husband, who then pureed her remains in a blender. How do you even think to do something like that to somebody? Pureeing somebody inside blender. Like, what's actually wrong? What is it? So this is why I'm reprising my Men Scare Me video, because this stuff is scary. There have been different stories from different parts of the world, from Kenya to America to France to Switzerland. Can the women breathe? Can the women please? Can the women breathe? I think I've ranted enough. I want to mention on a happier note that I saw that Diddy has been arrested and he's been held without bail. And I just want to say thank you to the universe for giving us that. One really evil person is going to be taken off the streets. I know how many people will be breathing a sigh of relief because of this news. And, you know, hopefully everybody does their job right so that he can stay in prison. I'm going to end the video on a bright side. On a hopeful note, I just want to say that I hope all the women watching this video are okay. I'm sending you guys love and light. Hugs if you need it. Anybody listening to this video right now, positive energy, good vibes only. I know that this climate, even politically, guys, please go and vote. This video has taken many turns, but you guys know that's what happens in video diaries. I'm just here ranting. Guys, please go and vote. It's like, please. I don't want to see anybody complaining about anything politically if you're not voting. I'm gonna encourage everybody on this video who is an American citizen to go and register to vote and to please vote. Please make your voice count somehow, some way, because we can debate and complain until the cows come home. It's also very impactful if you use your actual power as a United States citizen to vote. This is the real end of the video. Thank you guys so much for listening to my rant. Thank you so much for staying this far. I really appreciate you. Leave your thoughts about the issues that I brought up today down in the comment section. If I see a single not all men comment, I'm literally blocking you. Like, I'm removing it because I'm tired of hearing it. We understand that it's not every single human male on this rock, but it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, and they're spread out. They're sprinkled all over the world. I look forward to seeing you guys' comments. Like the video if you like the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you do not miss an upload. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!